Ladies and gentlemen, if kindly let me catch your attention that we have a translation channels for English, channel 1, for French, channel 2, and for Arabic, channel 3. Thank you. السيدات والسادة الحضور، رجاء الانتباه. يوجد ترجمة فورية للحدث اليوم للغة الإنجليزية القناة الأولى، للغة الفرنسية القناة الثانية، وللغة العربية القناة الثالثة. شكراً. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ola Amer, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to Egypt. I'm truly honored to be your host for Aviation Week 11th edition, and I wish you an inspiring and successful event. On behalf of the International Civil Aviation Organization and the Ministry of Civil Aviation of the Arab Republic of Egypt, it's my great honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the 11th of AFIAviation Week, held in Egypt, the cradle of civilization, for the first time. This event brings together senior leaders and experts from the air transport sector, along with directors general of civil aviation, organizations, senior government officials, industry leaders, representatives of international organizations, valuable partners, valuable guests from across the world. Your presence today reflects the shared commitment of advancing aviation safety, security, sustainability, innovation, and regional cooperation. This prestigious event is hosted in the historical country of Egypt, leading a future of sustainable aviation and reaffirming its continued commitment to supporting the development of the aviation sector and the international partnership. Over the coming days, this important gathering will provide a valuable platform for a meaningful dialogue, knowledge, sharing, and collaborative solutions that will help shape the future of civil aviation through the AFI region. Ladies and gentlemen, as we commence the opening of this important event, I kindly invite you all to rise for the national anthem of the Arab Republic of Egypt. Your Excellency Dr. Sameh El-Hifni, Minister of Civil Aviation of Arab Republic of Egypt, Secretary General of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, ICAO Council and Air Navigation Commission members, the Presidents of the African Civil Aviation Commission, AFCAC, African States Directors, General of Civil Aviation Authorities, and Head of Delegations, the Egyptian administrative and institutions, CEOs of the industry, representatives of partner states, international and regional organizations, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the 11th edition of the African Indian Ocean Aviation Week, hosted by the government of the Arab Republic of Egypt. AFIAviation Week is one of the foremost civil aviation gatherings. It brings together aviation leaders, policymakers, regulators, industry representatives, and development partners to examine the region's progress and agree on shared priorities. Over the coming days, participants will consider recent developments affecting civil aviation's access the region performs across ICAO's strategic goals and identify practical actions to support the safe, secure, sustainable, and development of the air transport in Africa. This morning, the opening ceremony will begin with a video presentation by our host country, followed by the remark from the President of AFCAC and the Secretary General of ICAO and the Minister of Civil Aviation of the Arab Republic of Egypt. And now, let's play a video about Egypt. Wow, I'm truly impressed and delighted after watching this video. Simply welcome to Egypt. And now it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Georgi Jatoga, President of the African Civil Aviation Commission, to deliver his speech.
Excellences, Monsieur le ministre de l'Aviation civile de la République arabe d'Égypte, Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres des États africains membres, Monsieur le Président de l'Organisation arabe de l'aviation civile, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs d'organisations internationales et régionales, Monsieur le secrétaire général de l'Organisation de l'aviation civile internationale, Mesdames et Messieurs les directeurs généraux de l'aviation civile, Madame la secrétaire générale de la Commission africaine de l'aviation civile, représentants des partenaires au développement et de l'industrie, Mesdames et Messieurs, c'est un grand honneur pour moi de prendre la parole à l'ouverture de la 11e semaine de l'aviation AFI. Au nom de la Commission africaine de l'aviation civile, je remercie sincèrement le gouvernement et le peuple de la République arabe d'Égypte pour leur accueil chaleureux et l'excellente organisation de cette rencontre. J'exprime également notre reconnaissance à l'Organisation de l'aviation civile internationale, à la Commission de l'Union africaine, à l'Organisation arabe de l'aviation civile, ainsi qu'à tous nos partenaires pour leur engagement constant en faveur du développement de l'aviation civile en Afrique. La semaine de l'aviation AFI est devenue un rendez-vous incontournable. Elle nous permet d'évaluer les progrès réalisés, d'examiner les défis auxquels notre continent est confronté et de définir ensemble des solutions concrètes pour construire une aviation africaine plus sûre, plus sécurisée, plus durable et plus performante. Depuis notre dernière rencontre, l'Afrique a enregistré des avancées importantes. Nous avons poursuivi la mise en œuvre du marché unique du transport aérien africain, renforcé la sécurité et la sûreté de l'aviation grâce au programme coopératif d'inspection et au mécanisme collaboratif d'application AFI. Accompagner les États dans la réalisation des objectifs d'Abuja et de Windhoek et développer plusieurs actions de formation et de renforcement des capacités. Ces résultats montrent que lorsque les États africains travaillent ensemble, ils obtiennent des résultats concrets. Il y a quelques semaines, la Convention et Exposition africaine du transport aérien, organisée à Lomé, au Togo, a marqué une étape importante pour le développement de notre secteur. Cette rencontre a rassemblé les gouvernements, les autorités de l'aviation civile, les institutions financières, les compagnies aériennes, les exploitants d'aéroports, les fournisseurs de services de navigation aérienne et les investisseurs au développement autour d'un objectif commun. L'un des principaux résultats de cette convention est d'avoir permis aux États africains de présenter leurs projets d'infrastructures aéronautiques directement aux partenaires financiers. Cette initiative ouvre de nouvelles perspectives pour le financement et la réalisation des projets prioritaires du continent. Les conclusions de Lomé serviront également de base à la préparation de la prochaine conférence mondiale de l'OACI sur le transport aérien. Pour les 3 prochaines années, la CAFAC invite les États à concentrer leurs efforts sur 5 priorités ci-après. Accélérer la mise en œuvre du marché unique du transport aérien africain. Mobiliser davantage de financement pour les infrastructures aéronautiques. Harmoniser les réglementations et les procédures techniques. Améliorer la connectivité et la compétitivité du transport aérien africain. Développer des technologies innovantes et des carburants d'aviation durables. Au cours de cette semaine, nos travaux porteront notamment sur la sécurité, la sûreté, la protection de l'environnement, la transformation numérique, le financement de l'aviation et la facilitation. La résilience des systèmes de navigation par satellite, ainsi que le développement des compétences des jeunes professionnels africains. Ces sujets sont essentielles à un moment où la demande de transport aérien augmente rapidement et où l'aviation doit accompagner la mise en œuvre de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine et de l'agenda 2063 de l'Union africaine. Pour atteindre ces objectifs, nous devons renforcer la coopération entre les États africains, les organisations régionales et les partenaires internationaux. Le respect des normes de l'OACI, le renforcement de nos institutions et la mobilisation de financement durable demeurent des conditions essentielles pour assurer un développement harmonieux de l'aviation africaine. Mesdames et messieurs, le mois de novembre prochain marquera une étape importante avec la session extraordinaire de l'Assemblée de l'OACI, au cours de laquelle 4 nouveaux sièges seront attribués au Conseil de l'OACI. La composition du Conseil passera de 36 à 40 États. Cette évolution représente une occasion historique de renforcer la présence de l'Afrique au sein de cette instance stratégique. À cet effet, il est indispensable que les États africains poursuivent leur coordination sous la conduite de la CAFAC afin de défendre une position commune. Notre unité reste notre plus grande force dans la promotion des intérêts de notre continent. C'est dans cet esprit que j'ai le plaisir de présenter la candidature africaine au siège supplémentaire du Conseil de l'OACI. Il s'agit de la République fédérale démocratique d'Éthiopie. Nous comptons sur le soutien de l'ensemble de la communauté internationale afin de garantir une représentation plus équitable de notre continent dans la gouvernance mondiale de l'aviation civile. Je souhaite enfin saluer l'engagement de nos partenaires techniques et financiers ainsi que des acteurs de l'industrie aéronautique. Leur accompagnement contribue au renforcement de la sécurité, de la sûreté des infrastructures et des capacités humaines. Nous les invitons à poursuivre cet appui afin d'accompagner l'Afrique dans la mise en œuvre de ces projets prioritaires. Pour cette 11e session de la Semaine de l'aviation AFI, je forme le vœu que nos échanges débouchent sur des décisions concrètes, des partenariats renforcés et des actions capables de faire progresser durablement l'aviation africaine. Au nom de la Commission africaine de l'aviation civile, je souhaite plein succès à nos travaux et un excellent séjour à toutes les délégations. Je vous remercie de votre aimable attention.
Merci beaucoup pour ces discours, Monsieur Sergi Jota. And now I have the honor inviting Mr. John Carlos Salazar, Secretary General of the International Civil Aviation Organization, to deliver his speech.
Your Excellency, Dr. Sameh Al-Hefni, the Minister of Civil Aviation of the Arab Republic of Egypt, and the authorities of Egypt present here, Mr. Serge de Zota, the President of the African Civil Aviation Commission, and Mrs. Adefunke, the Secretary General of the African Civil Aviation Commission, the chairperson of the AFI plan and the AFI group in the Council of ICAO, the directors generals of Civil Aviation Authority of the AFI region and states that are joining this AFI week, gracing us with your presence. ICAO council members, air navigation commissioners, representative of Egyptian administration and other institutions, partner states, international organizations and regional organizations, industry representatives here that are important partners as well, excellencies and distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Bonjour, sabah al khair, bon dia, buenos dias. I want to welcome you all to this important gathering today. We meet here in Cairo with a common purpose. We are here to shape the future of aviation of Africa. Progress on three key priorities will enable us to move forward. Our first priority is to bring partners together to mobilize resources for sustainable progress. The meeting itself is a proof of your commitment to working together. The government of Egypt has graciously hosted this important event, and I wish to thank His Excellency Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the President of Egypt, and Dr. Sameh al-Hafni, the Minister of Civil Aviation, for hosting us here in this beautiful country and beautiful venue. Egypt's generosity and leadership has set an inspiring example for us to reflect on and to follow throughout AFI Week. Aviation is a powerful force for human progress, and the coalition here is as broad as your commitment. It is strong enough to support real implementation. Experts from states, industry partners, and stakeholders across the air transport ecosystems have gathered here. Your combined strengths will lead to productive and timely meetings. ICAO Secretariat staff are also here to help and ensure our meetings are effective and impactful. We have here 3 senior directors present and 3 regional directors present, besides experts in all areas of the program of work of ICAO. We are committed to ensuring these meetings drive progress in aviation through Africa and the Indian Ocean. This is tightly linked to our second priority, to strengthen African leadership and ownership of air transport. ICAO forecasts that Africa will be among the world's fastest growing aviation markets. This means that we have critical moment for action before us. African leadership matters now more than ever. Regional integration matters now more than ever too. Africa has already made strong commitments, meaning that we have a strong foundation for our progress. We must implement the single African air transport market to which the president of AFCAC just referred to. This step will help states enjoy the benefits of the African continent free trade area. The outcomes of the AFCAC 2026 African Air Transport Convention and Exhibition stand before us. The Lomé Declaration and the implementation matrix are clear. Africa is ready to accelerate the single African air transport market. Africa will improve connectivity and deepen integration through civil aviation. And this is how Africa will demonstrate global leadership, supporting ICAO's vision for air transport worldwide. And ICAO is ready to help accelerate your progress. We empower African leadership with focused support in line with the plans and roadmaps that you set, and the capacity building activities that we are actively improving to meet the specific needs of all ICAO member states. You have key opportunities throughout AFI Week. The 11th meeting of the Director Generals of Civil Aviation will review new developments. It will assess aviation performance and provide guidance on the challenges that you face. And it will set Africa's priorities for this year and the next. The third meeting of the AFI Plans Steering Committee will review the progress of the AFI Safety Plan, AFI SECFAL Plan, and the Human Resources Development Fund. The commitment will be looking into the committee will be looking into the implementation of the work programs and of its previous decisions and recommendations. The accountability provided through this review is crucial to continuing the excellent progress that Africa is achieving. Looking further forward, the Aviation Symposium will push key initiatives. We will share best practices, we will name challenges, we will find solutions to improve performance. African experts will take the lead here. Finally, the donor dialogue will provide a crucial opportunity to strengthen implementation through global partnerships with the states, international organizations, and industry stakeholders. It will reinforce African ownership of the AFI plans and discuss voluntary financial and in-kind contributions in support of priority activities under the AFI Safety Plan, the AFI SECFAL Plan, and the Human Resources Development Fund. These meetings will prove strong ownership by Africa, and that Africa's success depends on it. And that is why I want to thank here African states and partner organizations for your continued support and leadership. Some of you have provided experts to help states at no expense. This is through partnership. We value your solidarity and your shared ownership. Through commitment and partnership, the AFI region made great progress in the past years. And so much more can be done by pooling and aligning not just regionally, but at the global level. Aviation in Africa is growing, and with a strong demand comes big opportunities and big challenges. We see potential for economic growth, integration, and social development. And that is why our third priority is to align African aviation with the global vision and strategy. This year's AFI Week marks a milestone. This is the first year of the ICAO Strategic Plan for 2050, which foresees air transport for all with zero fatalities and net zero carbon emissions. Immediate progress towards this vision will be driven by the ICAO Business Plan for 2026 through 2028. These documents show the way forward for all member states, including especially those in the AFI region. ICAO is clear about its priorities: safety, security, sustainability, resilience, and inclusion are in our stated goals now. We will be discussing this in depth through the AFI Week. Aligning your consensus with them will enable you to accelerate the achievement of these epic aspirations. We have fully adopted these objectives, and they are fully reflected in the Africa aviation planning. However, the story doesn't end there. I want to highlight that this AFI Week is also a crucial opportunity for Africa to shape air policy worldwide. Your consensus here must inform the deliberations of the ICAO Worldwide Air Transport Conference in November, which will determine aviation's global economic and investment frameworks for the next decade. Let me conclude now with the following thoughts. Your alignment on aviation policy and standards is vital to Africans' connectivity. Africa must lead the international dialogue on aviation, and Africa must express its vision for air transport to the world with one voice. Thank you very much.
Mr. Juan Salazar, Secretary General, thank you so much for your remarks and reaffirming on ICAO's commitment in supporting the sustainable development of aviation across the AFI region. Ladies and gentlemen, may now invite you to welcome His Excellency Dr. Sameh El-Hifni, Minister of Civil Aviation of the Arab Republic of Egypt, to deliver his opening address and officially open the 11th edition of AFIAviation Week.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, my friend, Secretary General of ICAO, my brother, President of AFCAC, SecGen, and the AFIPLAN Chairperson, President and Directors of General Civil Aviation Authorities, and ICAO and ANC Council members, and ICAO Regional Director and Industry Regional Directors for International Organizations, colleagues, friends, and of course, all protocol reserved. Today, Cairo brings together Africa's aviation community with one clear purpose: to move our continent's civil aviation sector forward. On behalf of the government of the Arab Republic of Egypt, I warmly welcome all of you to the 11th edition of the AFIAviation Week. Your presence here reflects the importance of this gathering and the strength of our shared commitment to the future of African aviation. AFIAviation Week brings together the decision makers, institutions, and aviation professionals whose work shape the safety, connectivity, resilience, and competitiveness of our continent. It provides an important opportunity to assess our progress, align our priorities, and focus our collective efforts on outcomes that can be translated into effective implementations. For Egypt, hosting this important African gathering carries a particular meaning. As an active member state of the African Union and one of the founding members of AFCAC, Egypt's engagement with Africa extends far beyond geography. Egypt's relationship with Africa has never been shaped by temporary interests or passing circumstances. It has been formed through history, sustained by common challenges, and strengthened by a firm conviction that the progress of our continent must be built by African states working all together. From the Nile that connects our people with the institution that unites our governments, Egypt has always understood that African security is part of our national security, that African development strengthens its own prosperity, and that Africa's growing voice in the international system is reinforced by stronger institutions, deeper connectivity, and greater capability. For Egypt, Africa is not a direction. It is a strategic responsibility and a shared destiny, and a central pillar of our national identity. Civil aviation is fundamental to that responsibility. It is the network through which our people meet, our economies connect, and our opportunities expand in our continent moves forward. Egypt is therefore determined to place its aviation capabilities, institutional experience, and strategic position at the service of a stronger, more integrated, and more influential Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa possesses all the foundation required to become one of the world's most dynamic aviation regions, as His Excellency the SG mentioned. Our continent has growing markets, ambitious young population, expanding cities, considerable tourism and trade potential, experienced institutions, and a strategic geographic position connecting major global regions. Aviation is one of the most powerful instruments to advance the economic integration for our continent and support the objectives of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. It is also essential to strengthening Africa's access to global markets through the SATM and increasing the continent's contribution to international civil aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of African aviation will ultimately depend upon its people. Africa has a wide base of skilled professionals, experienced regulators, air navigation specialists, engineers, airport leaders, and aviation experts. Our responsibility is to continue investing in Africa's expertise, strengthen lasting institutional capacity, and create wider opportunities for knowledge and experience to be shared across borders. In doing so, we can reinforce national systems, support professional development, and ensure that African expertise contributes more fully to aviation progress across the continent. Africa's aviation future must be shaped by African talents, supported by strong international partnership and guided by the highest global standards. Egypt's aviation market represents a real source of national strength and a central pillar of the country's future development vision. Its significance lies not only in the volume of traffic it handles, but in the wider role it plays in connecting national development priorities with regional and global opportunities. In 2025, Egyptian airport handled almost 62 million passengers, representing a growth of approximately 15% compared with 2024, and confirming Egypt's position as Africa's largest market at the national airport system level. This performance reflects the strength of a diversified network of 23 airports, serving the capital, more tourism destinations, regional economic centers, and strategic development zones across the country. Moreover, Egypt's aviation strength is not concentrated in a single market. It is built upon a national multi-hub system designed to distribute growth, widen access, and connect aviation more closely with the country's economic and development priorities. Cairo International Airport is the main hub of this system and one of Africa's most important international gateways. In June 2026, Cairo Airport ranked first in Africa in terms of outbound seat capacity, offering approximately 1.6 million departing seats during this month. This reflects Cairo's role not only as Egypt's main gateway, but as a major point of connecting between Africa and the Middle East, Europe, the Americas, and Asia. At the same time, the performance of Egypt's other major airports demonstrate the depth and resilience of the national markets. According to ACI traffic figures, Hurghada International Airport ranked the third in Africa for international passenger traffic in 2025, while Sharm el-Sheikh Airport ranked the seventh. The presence of Cairo, Hurghada, and Sharm el-Sheikh among Africa's leading aviation gateways confirm the strength of Egypt's multi-hub strategy and the geographic diversity of its aviation economy. These figures demonstrate how aviation complements Egypt's wider national development plan. Still, Egypt's position at the crossroad of Africa and the Middle East is reflected in the strengths of its regional aviation links. The Cairo-Jeddah routes rank among the world's busiest international services, while Cairo-Riyadh remain a major hub demand market. Together, these routes demonstrate Cairo's role in supporting traffic flows between Africa and the Middle East, and of course, the wider global air transport network. Over the next 4 years, Cairo International Airport annual capacity will be increased by 40 million passengers, reaching approximately 70 million passengers per year. This expansion forms part of a broader national vision to raise the combined capacity of Egypt's airports toward 110 million passengers annually, while enhancing operational efficiency, service quality, and international competitiveness across the network. A major public-private partnership program covering 11 international and regional airports forms part of this direction, bringing investment and international expertise into a national framework guided by Egypt's long-term priority. Moreover, Egypt's aviation sector includes 17 airlines operating a fleet of around 190 aircraft and serving more than 30 African destinations, thereby linking the continent with the globe. Our two main national operators, Egyptair and Air Cairo, are pursuing ambitious fleet and network expansion plans. Egyptair plans to expand its fleet to 125 aircraft, while Air Cairo plans to reach 80+ aircraft over the next 4 years, with plan to enter 8 additional African markets, bringing the number of African markets served by the Egyptian carriers to approximately 40 destinations by 2030. While covering the rest of Africa through stronger partnership with Africa, leading airline to serve the rest of Africa. The strategic objective is clear: to ensure expansion, support tourism growth, stronger connectivity, reinforce trades and investment, that infrastructure development contribute to regional opportunity, and that Egypt's aviation market continue to strengthen the country's economic resilience and international position. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, Egypt's commitment to ICAO is long-standing institutionally and firmly connected to its wider responsibility towards Africa. For Egypt, partnership with ICAO is not measured by participation alone. It is measured by continued contribution and the ability to translate international priority into practical regional values. This commitment is anchored in 4 central pillars. First, sustained institutional support to ICAO. Since 1959, Egypt has hosted the ICAO Middle East Regional Office, reflecting a tangible and enduring commitment to the organization and its regional mission. This support is being reinforced through a new 30-year hosting agreement and complete renovation of the regional office. Secondly, capacity building and implementation, as Egypt places particular emphasis on practical cooperation under the AFI plan and the No Country Left Behind strategic goal. The pledge signed in December 2025 will be translated during 2026 into targeted capacity building, technical assistance, and institutional support activity responding to the priorities identified by our African member states, with more pledges to come. Third, operational resilience and regional responsibility. Recent regional geopolitical situation have demonstrated the importance of resilient aviation system and coordinated operational responsibility. Egypt has accommodated additional traffic within its airspace, contributing to the safe, orderly, and efficient continuity of international operations. This reflects Egypt's strategic position, the capability of its air navigation system, and its readiness to support the stability of the wider regional network. Fourth, advancing ICAO priorities through hosting the implementation support. During 2026, Egypt will continue to provide a platform for major regional and international meetings, technical dialogue, and implementation-focused cooperation. This includes the hosting of Middenberg, AFIAviation Week, and a further focus on environmental sustainability through hosting the ICAO Green Airport Seminar in October 2026. Distinguished guests, the future of Africa aviation will be shaped by the strength of our cooperation, the confidence of our institutions, and the clarity of our shared ambitions. Egypt stands ready to contribute its full capability to this shared future. As one of the major African aviation states, a regional hub, an effective partner to ICAO and its member states, and a firm supporter of a safer, more connected, more resilient, and more influential African aviation system. Let us move forward with confidence in Africa's capability, pride in its achievements, and a shared determination to ensure that aviation remains a principal driver of the continent's development, integration, and prosperity. Once again, it's a genuine pleasure to welcome you to Egypt. I am confident that our discussion and deliberations will lead to practical and implementable outcomes that reflect Africa's capability and more our shared priorities forward. It's now my honor to declare the 11th edition of AFIAviation Week officially open. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sameh Al-Hifni. And now I proceed with the official group photo. So I kindly ask all the participants to remain seated, except the names we are going to call. First of all, our Minister, Dr. Sameh Al-Hifni, ICAO Secretary General, Directors of ATB, ANB, and CDI, ICAO Regional Directors, AFCAC President, AFCAC Secretary General, AFI Group Coordinator, Director General of Civil Aviation Authority of Egypt. kindly stay on the stage, please. If kindly stay on the stage, please. We are going to ask the Directors General of Civil Aviation Authorities to join, please. Director General of Civil Aviation Authorities, heads of delegations, ICAO Council representatives. So I'm asking Directors General of Civil Aviation Authorities, head of delegations, ICAO Council representatives.